First, what is a piecewise function and when do we use it? So piecewise function is a function that has different rules or equations for different intervals of the domain. So you're going to use it when your x values are intervals. Then going from a table to a piecewise function. So first thing you're going to do is set up s of v is equal to, and you're always going to have if, because that's how you write your rule. So your x value is going to be your v, your value of your order, and your s of v, or your y value, is just going to be your shipping cost. Your v is always going to go here because it's your interval, and your shipping cost, or your s of v, is always going to go on the left. So for the first one, s of v is equal to $4 if the value of the order is greater than or equal to 0 or less than or equal to 30. And you do the same thing with the next two. S of v, or your shipping cost, is going to be equal to $6.75 if the value of your order is greater than $30 or equal to or less than 60. And for the third one, S of v, or your shipping cost, is going to be equal to $8.50 if the value of your order v is greater than $60 or equal to or less than 140. Now graphing piecewise. Here's the given function. So for step one, you're going to create a table of point values for both rules. Over here's the top rule. And for the top rule, x is always going to be less than or equal to 3. So we start with 3 and we go down. 3, 2, 1, 0 for the x values. And then the rule is x minus 1. So we plug in our x values to get our y. 3 minus 1 is 2. And 2 minus 1 is 1. And you just keep going. And for the bottom rule, anything greater than 3 is going to be equal to -1. So we put 3, 4, 5, and 6 because all the x values are greater than 1. Greater than 3, and y is always going to be equal to -1. Graphing continued. So your second step is to plot the breakpoint, and a tip for plotting that is to draw a dotted line at the breakpoint and label each side with the correct equation that you're going to use. So you find the breakpoint by looking at your two given rules. X is greater than 3, or x is less than or equal to 3. So you know your breakpoint is going to be at x equals 3. So we drew the dotted line at x equals 3. Now to know if it's open or closed, circle on the breakpoint. So if it's less than or greater than, it's going to be open. But if it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it's going to be closed. So for this part, x minus 1, if x is less than or equal to 3, it's less than or equal to, so it's going to be a closed circle. So we plot that. And for the second part, -1, if x is greater than 3, we know it's going to be an open circle, so we also plot that. The third step is to plot the values from the table and connect the two sets separately. So we took the values we just calculated with on our table and we plugged them into the graph. So we plotted our points and we connect both of them. And then an example problem. You're going to evaluate for the given values with the function. So for the first one, f of -5, first you're going to determine which equation to use based off the x value, which is -5. And -5 is less than -2, so it applies to the first equation, 1 minus 6x. So we plug in -5 for the x value and we get 31. For f of -2, -2 is equal to -2. So it also applies to the first equation, 1 minus 6x. So we plug that in and we get 13. For f of 2, 2 is greater than -2. So we use the second equation, so f of 2 is equal to 14. And for the second example problem, write the function given the table. So we set up f of x, and then we put in our rules. The shipping fee is going to be equal to $3 if the value of the order is greater than $0 and less than or equal to 25. So 3 if 0 is less than, x is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 25. And we'll do the same thing for the second, third, and fourth. So f of x is going to be equal to $5.75 if the value of your order is greater than $25 but less than and equal to 75. And the shipping fee f of x is going to be equal to $7.75 if the value of your order is greater than $75 but less than or equal to $125. And then for the last one, the value of your order is going to be $125.01 and up. So it's going to be equal to $9.75 if x is greater than or equal to $125.01. And that's it.